Hi everyone, it's me, West Coast Mom, and today I'm going to show you how to crochet a ribbed band using single crochet but in the back loop only. So here's an example of ribbed band, part of a regular headband as well. So you quite often see this type of ribbing in knitted items, but you can recreate it in crochet as well. It's not exactly the same, but you can do something pretty close. So one way of doing it is, this is actually single crochet in the back loop only. And what's interesting is about this is that you actually create it this way. So I'm going to crochet a long skinny piece laterally. And what I do is, it's only 4 or 5 stitches wide in this particular yarn. You can make it as wide as possible as you need, right? You quite often see this ribbed banding on headbands, on hats, the bottom of sweaters. It could be an edging on a blanket as well. It's wherever you want that sort of ribbed look. All right? Okay, so let's get started here. I have Charisma yarn, which is a category weight 5 yarn from Loops and Threads, and I have their recommended hook, which is an L hook or an 8mm hook. There's 2 ways of getting started. I'm going to show you both ways. The first is just starting out with a chain. Make your slip knot, and I'm going to make this not too wide because this is going to be for a headband, so I only want mine to be 5 single crochets. So what you do then, to start out with a chain, you're going to add 1. So I'm actually going to chain 6. All right, so I chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The reason why you chain 6 is you actually don't count or use this one. I'm going to start my single crochet second from the hook, and I'm only using the top loop, and I'm just going to single crochet across. This is the base. We're not actually starting the ribbed band yet, but you need this as the base. And then when you skip that one and you've done 6, it should equal 5 single crochets. So if I can't, I like to count by the top loop, these here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 single crochets. You use this to start with. Okay, another way of doing this is using the foundation single crochet method, which I'm not really, the purpose of this video is not to show you how to do that. I'll do that in a separate video. But some people prefer this method. And what it is you do a chain, you're doing the chain and the single crochets all in one. And if you prefer this method, if you want 5 single crochets, you just do 5 of the foundation single crochet method. You don't have to add an extra one, and then you can get started. This is my preferred way of doing it because I like the fact that you eliminate one step and it's all in one. So how many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. I just need 1 more. But in the end, it all works out the same. It's the same concept that you use as a basis to start this ribbed band. All right, so now I have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 1, because basically you're making a long strip, remember? So what I'm going to do is, the top, you can see my V's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches. I'm going to use the back loops only. So what I'm going to do is, I'm still going to single crochet, that hasn't changed, but instead of going through 2 loops or both loops, I'm going to go and work around those back loops only. And now what that does is, since I am not using the front loop, it leaves the front loop free and it creates that sort of line, which is the beginning of our ribbing. All right, I'm at the end of the row, chain 1, turn it around, and the same thing again. You can take a look. Sometimes if you look straight down from the top, it's easier to see the loops. And I'm going to single crochet again. Now what you'll notice, again the same way, just like the other side, that front loop is not being used, and so it sort of sticks out and it's noticeable and it creates that line. You will notice that since we turned, there's one, it's on both sides. So this is double-sided, this ribbing. All right, so I'm going to do another row here, and then you will see it will keep going. And you will have that sort of ribbed crochet band look. And it's double-sided, like I said, so you don't have to worry about how it looks on one side versus the other side. So here I've done a few rows, and you can see that's the front loops there, that's the front loops there. On the opposite side, it's in between, right? Because there's quite a gap in there. And so that's how it'd be created. And then you would turn it this way when it comes to your actual item, right? But you are crocheting it. And when you do it this way, there actually is quite a bit of stretch. So back in this headband that I have here, it seems really small and you think, oh, whose head's gonna fit that? But there actually is quite a bit of stretch into that because it is crocheted this way. All right, next up I'm gonna show you how to join it. All right, so I've done a few rows here now, and the ribbing is a little bit more pronounced. You can see the lines from those front loops that weren't used sort of protrude and create that ribbing. It's the same as on the back. It's this idea, but it's just alternating, right? So it doesn't matter if this is the front or if this is the front. It doesn't matter if this is the top or if this is the top, right? So it pretty much looks the same the whole way. Now, quite often, if you are making a hat or a headband, like I am making, they will ask you to join it. So it makes this complete circle, and then you start building up, making your hat from there. Some will say, one way of doing it is to cut the yarn and then use that end piece and sew it together. But I'm lazy. What I like to do is I'll just crochet it together and then keep on going so I don't have to cut my yarn. So let's say I want to do that now. So I've just finished my last single crochet. I'm going to chain one. I'm going to fold it in half completely. And now, this time, to join the two, I am going to go through both loops on both there. And it should be 5, right? So what I'm going to do is I've got both. I'm going to pull through and I'm going to single crochet, and I'm going to go through, so I'm kind of going through 4 loops, right? The 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and I'm single crocheting them together. And you can do this because, like I said, it all looks the same to me, top and bottom, like, so I don't think there's a right way up or a right facing side. It kind of all looks the same. So you would crochet the length, whatever that your pattern calls for or whatever it is that you need. And then if it asks you to join, depending on what you're making. So there you go. So there I've crocheted it together. This creates kind of like a seam. So I would say that that's the back side, and then I would flip it inside out. And then, so that is on the inside now, it's actually in here. And then depending on your pattern, quite often from here you got to add stitches all the way around, and you would build up your hat or your headband that way. But you can see it creates a nice sort of ribbing. There's a lot of stretch to it, which is what you need in ribbing. And it was fairly easy. It was just single crochets in the back loop. So that's one way of creating a crochet band. All right. So if you want to check out this headband that I've been doing, check out my blog at toomuchlove.ca, and you can see some other great projects and activities that I have got going on there as well. Thanks for watching.